Welcome back to another daily recap. Today is Tuesday, January 21, 2025. What you're looking at is a screenshot of the chart of the SPY before the market opened. 7:37 a.m. had a number of levels on the board, and this was the email sent out at 7:43 a.m. with the game plan and all the levels, and you can read through this if you'd like. So of the 8 levels this morning, including the trend line down here, 3 were hit. As you can see here on the post-market chart here at 9:10 p.m. Let's just zoom in and take a look at these 3 levels and talk about what happened if you traded them. I like to let the market settle in 15 minutes before I take a trade, so there is no trade here at 9:42, although it worked quite well. After 9:45, 15-minute candle close, they're on their way up, or they could have come down, but they went up first. The first trade, pretty easy to see at 6:01.33. You can apply that 5-cent buffer if you'd like, just to grab more trades, and they came down, and that's a base hit or more. So that's trade number 1. They come down, they bounce off of 599.77. That's trade number 2. At that point, you're not messing with this level at all. Yeah, they got underneath it, but you're not taking a recycle trade because you want more time than this. A recycle trade is trading the same level on the other side, like maybe a short trade here on the way back down. But they came back up too quickly. Pretty good indication they want to go higher. They went higher, they hit the level again, and while they did come down enough for a base hit later at the same level, I'm not going to take this level for another trade since I had the short trade up here. When they got up to 602.55, let me put some reference levels on here. So 602.50 is what you want to trigger the trade at. So when SPY hits 602.50, you want to sell E-mini contracts, and you want them to come down 40 cents at least, or 4 points in the E-minis. So that would be 602.10 roughly. So that is a base hit right there. Doesn't look like a whole lot, considering they came down more later. However, they never hit 602.50. They got to 602.49 a few times and came down. At this point, while I did record all this, you can see me not taking this trade. I was busy doing other things. This, by definition, according to my rules, is a near miss. I'm not going to take a trade at that level. However, as you can see, they came down, and I'll just go ahead and put a reference level for what I call the fumble threshold. So 602.50 be roughly 602.90. That's 4 points in the E-minis, the equivalent. And so you don't want to see closes above this level. They never got there. So that's a base hit. I'm not going to count this level here at 602.50 as an official trade, just the 2 before, because per the rules, you wouldn't have traded it. Here's the recording of the trade I took. Notice the time. I started this recording after 9:45, but as we already talked about, this was before 9:45. Wouldn't have taken this trade anyway per the rules. They're on their way up to 601.33. So what you're going to see me do is put a limit order to sell 2 in the general vicinity here, the general area. And I took 6 points off, just took a few minutes. This is not sped up a whole lot just because it happened pretty fast. And as a matter of fact, right before this was satisfied and I got that trade in the bag, I was talking to someone kind of looking away, and it happened pretty fast. So when I looked back, they had already fulfilled that trade, had the $600, and they were on the way down pretty quickly to 599.77. I didn't see it happen. So when I got back, I'd missed the 599.77 level for a trade. So there, that was a pretty abrupt drop. Hit the level, bounced a minute or 2 later, and that was trade number 2. But by the time I saw it, which you'll see me, there's my cursor, it was done. I make those levels dotted, and I made the decision at this point, I'm not going to make any more trades. I was pretty busy, several things to do that day, so that's kind of my indication by making all these levels dotted that I'm not going to do anything, and I'll just scrub ahead here and show you that I ignored it, just was happy to pocket what I did. When they got up to 602.55, I didn't do anything, and then stopped this recording probably around a quarter or so before 2 o'clock. So that was my trade. And then over here on the tracking logs, the first one, as you know, is the PBR, or the playing by the rules log. And if you read the notes, you can see the 2 levels that were traded for base hits for 8 points total. The next level at level 7, while it did work, I'm not going to count it because every level in here is strictly playing by the rules. So we want it to be accurate. So there's your 8 points, and you can see where that would have landed you depending on the number of ES contracts traded. And then my trades, the Sam's trades, 6 points on 2 contracts at this one level here, and didn't touch the other ones. So there it is, $600 before commissions. I guess I really didn't look at the big picture of where the SPY is. Let's just come out to a daily chart here and clean this up a little bit, make a few observations. So currently in the post market, they're at 604.36 at 9:17 p.m. And They are quickly approaching, or steadily approaching is probably the right word, the top of this big breakdown candle, probably going to provide some type of overhead resistance. They get there. This is kind of where they're at now. And I'll be quite honest with you, I was kind of in a hurry just to make this video, so I haven't done a whole lot of study on this. I typically do that early in the morning. So there are levels probably in here somewhere. I just want to kind of get a closer picture and zoom in at some different time frames, look at other tools, other indicators, other markets actually, and other indices before I say too much. But one thing I'm going to do here, let's just say we turn the snap mode on, and I'm going to find a trend line just right here. These three little pivots here. This is a daily chart here, so they're kind of significant. They bottomed out, lower highs. Well, this is interesting. Did they get above this after the market closed? It looks like they did. They closed at 603.05. What did I say they are? 604.36. Interesting. So they're above this trend line now. The top of this breakdown candle is 606.41. I'm going to put a line here. I'm going to snap a line to the top of this breakdown candle for tomorrow. I'll leave that trend line because they could bounce off of it. But like I said, I'll have some more refined levels by the morning. But anyway, this is just kind of a quick look at the daily chart. Not going to make any predictions at this point. Just want to show you where we're at. And we already looked at the logs. But I'm just going to close this recap video out on this tracking log. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next recap video. Have a great rest of your day.